The packed showroom floor of the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center. Close to 300 cars have been brought in for one of the biggest auto shows in the Southeast. And one in particular will be getting a lot of attention this weekend. The new Ford Bronco is in the house, and you get the first look tonight. Welcome to Cloud 9 for car lovers. Whether you're a gearhead who loves getting under the hood or just looking to buy a new ride to get the family.
Return to the road. The Jacksonville International Auto Show is back, bigger and better than ever. Close to 300 cars, some of the hottest new models, all lined up and ready to roll. We take you inside the most popular selling vehicle in America, the all-new redesigned Ford F-150. Go for a test drive with Richard Nunn in the Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Plus, the power of Porsche goes electric. Take a spin in the all-new Taycan. We look at Consumer Reports' top cars in the class of 21. Which ones are the best value for you and your family? A local car detailing expert reveals the secrets behind the shine, how to get your ride looking like it just came off the showroom floor, and the return of an icon. Here's your chance to see the all-new Ford Bronco before it hits local dealerships. It's the 2021 Jacksonville International Auto Show Preview. Brought to you by North Florida Lincoln. Driven to be the best.
Welcome to Cloud 9 for car lovers. Whether you're a gearhead who loves getting under the hood or just looking to buy a new ride to get the family from A to B, the Convention Center is the place to be this weekend. We even have the next evolution in electric. Get ready to take a ride in the new Porsche Taycan. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for the Jacksonville International Auto Show Preview, one of the coolest events here in the River City. And it wouldn't be a car show without Channel 4's very own car guru, Richard Nunn. Rich, this is without a doubt your Super Bowl.
This is it. This is like a giant candy store, a toy store, whatever you want to call it, everything around here. And I know we keep saying 300, and I went around and I started counting, and it went like this. 1, 2, I want that. 3, oh, wait, I lost my count. Back up, let's do it again. And then every time I see something else that, yeah, I want, and that includes this. Going back to Germany here from Stuttgart to Zuffenhausen, this is the Porsche Taycan 4S. There's an entry level to this with a rear-wheel drive system. And Porsche, in a way, is going back to its roots. One of the first cars that they came out with was an electric car. Of course, we know the history with that rousing flat six sound. This one doesn't have a lot of sound, but it will have you rethinking what fast really is. Straight from the house of Zuffenhausen is true Porsche innovation and performance in a fully electric vehicle. The 2021 Taycan is the first production EV with an 800-volt power plant. It's also the first with a multi-speed transaxle. Combined, this means faster charging times and hypercar performance.
A couple of interesting things with the Taycan. This is an 800-volt architecture, which is double the rest of the EV market. Because of this 800-volt architecture, a couple of really unique things happen with the Taycan. One, the car remains incredibly cool, which is important for performance. So from a performance standpoint, we can have a lot of fun with this car, and that performance is repeatable time after time after time.
Added to this year's lineup is the Taycan rear-wheel drive. Coming in at a base price of $80,000, the electric sedan is considered the entry-level Porsche. Did I mention the rear-wheel drive? Yeah, the price tag is high, but what you get for the money is all Porsche with an electrified punch. The Taycan comes with a 79.2 kilowatt-hour battery, rear-mounted permanent magnet synchronous motor delivering 402 horsepower and 254 foot-pounds of torque. In typical Porsche fashion, there is an optional 93.4 kilowatt-hour battery that brings the numbers up to 469 and 263. Oddly enough, Porsche claims the same 0 to 60 times with both configurations at 5.1 seconds.
The new rear-wheel drive Taycan comes in at just under $80,000, and again is highly customizable just like the rest of the Porsche lineup. And that's a fantastic price point, especially when you compare it to the rest of the EV market.
Battery range is 199 miles with the standard setup and 227 with the upgrade. Even with the upgraded power plant, the Tesla Model S can top 400 miles and comes in around $10,000 less. What Porsche may lack in mileage, it makes up in charging times. The standard 800-volt platform can go from a 5% charge to 80% in less than a half hour with a fast charge. If you can't find a fast charge station, the more common 50 kilowatt unit can perform the same charge in 93 minutes.
With this 800 volt system, you have a few different ways that you can charge this. It's the only EV on the market that you can charge level 1, which is a typical household plug, level 2, which is like a dryer plug, right, 240 volt, and then you also have DC fast charging, not just 400 volt, but superchargers 800 volt. So your charging time can actually be as short as 23 minutes.
Some compare the Taycan styling to that of the Panamera, and at first glance the four doors may sway you that way, but put it next to a 911 and you'll see the lines of legacy. Styling doesn't end there. Inside, a sleek, open cockpit reminiscent of the early 911s, wide open floors, and plenty of legroom.
Even though this is electrified, again, the Porsche DNA runs all the way through this car. If you notice up front, you've got the raised shoulders that sit higher than the hood, which has obviously been around since the days of the 911. And then you look at the fly line that sweeps down into the hips. It's really just a beautiful modern day vehicle concept that still has Porsche DNA and soul that runs all the way through it.
The dash is an array of screens, and because of this, it is void of knobs. The main display is 16.8 inches for the gauges, which can be configured to the driver's choice. There are also two centrally located touchscreens that control the infotainment systems. The top one is easily controlled by the passenger and measures around 11 inches, while the second screen, closer to the console, measures around 8 inches. That controls the car's comfort, battery settings, and connected devices. As far as performance, it's a Porsche, and it's electric. It is instantly quick with torque that won't quit. The acceleration off the line will make you rethink what fast is. The 2-speed transmission offers the punch of the famed PDK in sport mode. The only thing that's missing, that flat 6 sound. And I'll tell you something, with the speed of this car, the way that it accelerates, you can almost forget about that flat 6 sound and just enjoy everything about this car. Lauren mentioned, hey, this is everything from family cars to get you from point A to B or on the racetrack. Folks, this has 4 doors, 4 seats, and it's everything. It'll take you to the track. It'll take you from the firm to the grocery store and then drop the kids off for soccer practice. And I'm really hoping that coming up here in is it June? We're getting ready for the Highway to Help Heroes, and this is going to be an awesome event. It's going to be a lot of exotic cars driving. June, say it again. We're going to be driving these heroes on June 5th in these exotic cars. We're going to start at Ring Power, and it's going to end at the Calford Chop House. And with any luck and with a lot more schmoozing, maybe I'll be able to take one of these and the heroes as we get ready to honor them on the 5th of June. Lauren?
I love how Rich is trying to sell a Porsche as a family car. Good for him. All right, if you visit the auto show this weekend, we want to see your photos. Just log on to Snapjacks on news4jax.com, select the auto show category from the menu, and upload a pic. Feel free to add a caption and share the fun. Don't go anywhere because the auto show preview is just getting started.
Thinking about buying a new car? We partner up with Consumer Reports to find out which makes and models are at the top of the class for 2021. The ones that will keep you and your family safe while not breaking the bank. When the Jacksonville Auto Show preview returns.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview on Channel 4. There are all kinds of cars to look at here this weekend at the convention center. Now, Richard already showed you the new all-electric Porsche. He was loving it over there. That is a little higher on the wallet for a top-end car. But the auto show is also great if you're looking for something practical. It's your one-stop shop to check out all the models of all the new cars. All right, here's a look at the fastest-selling new cars in the Jacksonville-Brunswick market the first quarter of this year. The Hyundai Palisade is only on the lot on average of 15 days before it sells, followed by the Toyota RAV4. A new Kia Soul sells in about 3 weeks. The Ford Ranger and Explorer round out the top 5. So which cars are the best and safest value? Well, Consumer Reports' brand new list of their exceptional cars came out in February. They all scored high marks on Consumer Reports tests and surveys, and each comes with standard life-saving features you don't have to pay extra for. Each year, more than 250 models fight for car shoppers' hearts, minds, and driveways. Which ones are the very best? Consumer Reports' annual top picks list sorts through the data from more than 50 tests at the Consumer Reports Auto Test Center, as well as other factors like predicted reliability, owner satisfaction, and safety equipment.
We put thousands of miles on each test car and actually evaluate them for how people use them in their day-to-day lives. To make CR's list, all vehicles must come standard with forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection.
Toyota had a very good year. Its Corolla, Prius, and Camry all made the list, as did the Forester and Outback from Subaru, along with the Mazda CX-30, Lexus RX, Honda Ridgeline, and Kia Telluride. The only American brand on the list this year was the Tesla with its Model 3. Also new in 2021, this little green leaf for vehicles that Consumer Reports designates a green choice.
CR's Green Choice designation highlights the top 20% of vehicles on the market with the cleanest emissions. Advances in technology are increasingly providing cleaner and greener choices, and this includes 4 of our top picks,
letting you make a greener choice when you consider buying your next car. Now, if you want to learn more about Consumer Reports' top picks for 2021, we have a direct link right now on our website. Just head to news4jax.com/Consumer Reports. Rich?
All right, we're got 300 cars and we're going to have a lot of people in here. And what are the protocols? What are we going to be doing to keep people safe as they come through and maybe sit in this murdered out G-Wagon here from Mercedes? I assure you, everything is being done, CDC guidelines, to make sure you stay safe. Masks are required to be worn at all times during the event and while on the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center grounds. Contactless ticket scanners will be used at the show entrances. You'll notice wider aisles at this year's show to allow proper spacing throughout the venue to provide safe social distancing. Food and drinks will be prepackaged. All vehicles will be cleaned on a regular basis by exhibitors employing professional detailers. Bathrooms will be cleaned thoroughly through the event. Hand sanitizer dispensers will be placed throughout the convention center and show floor. And only 3,200 people will be allowed inside the convention center at any time.
Coming up, it's time to go for a ride with Richard. Channel 4's resident gearhead gets behind the wheel of the Motor Trend SUV of the year. How the Land Rover Defender stacks up against the competition, and how its local dealership is trying to help those make Jacksonville a better place to live when the Jacksonville Auto Show preview returns.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview on Channel 4. While gas prices are going up and manufacturers are answering the call for more electric vehicles, the American auto buyer still has a demand for bigger, badder cars. 8 of the 10 top-selling cars in America right now are either an SUV, a crossover, or those full-size trucks. And this year's Motor Trend SUV of the Year packs a lot into a streamlined package. Let's send things over now to Richard Nunn with a look at the Land Rover Defender.
And you know what, Lauren, this kind of encompasses all of that. It's got the kind of a truck kind of feel to it, the way it drives, although now it's a unibody and not a frame on body type truck. And it is another classic that is coming back, which is what, number 3 that we'll have here at the show. So you got the Bronco, you got the all new Ford F-150, and coming back for this year, 2021, is the Defender. It kind of had a little hiatus here after there were some issues with safety, and then all of that was taken care of, and now back over on our shores, both the 90 and the 110. They're just called the Defenders now, but if you know your history here with the Defenders, how they used to have that moniker, and it was based on the wheel wells. But it doesn't just stop there. With these vehicles, and being the fact that it's a Land Rover, all of that total off-roadness, it still comes in a very classy package. What do you say about a vehicle that can go anywhere, has refined lines, great looks, and European style? In the case of the 2021 Land Rover Defender, you say congratulations to Motor Trend's SUV of the Year. Style, looks, luxury are not commonly used words when describing SUVs. Words like rugged, capable, off-road ready often fill this niche. For the Defender, all of the above apply. Originally called the 90 and the 110 because of the wheelbase, the last Defender rolled off the production line in 2016 after 2 million Land Rover Series and Defenders had been assembled. Not a bad run after gaining worldwide acclaim for ruggedness and versatility.
This is iconic. This vehicle has been iconic since the 40s when it came out and still is to this day. So Land Rover really did a fantastic job on building on that styling and keeping some of the key traditions so that purists on the Land Rover will recognize it, and even those that aren't will say, well, that's a Land Rover for sure.
It is easy to see how legacy is reflected in design. Here's an early 90s example of a soft-top Defender. In 2020, the Defender made a global debut and returned to the U.S. market. Still offered in 2 wheelbases, but sharing no technology or components with the past. The all-new Defender leaves its predecessors behind while still maintaining that legacy started 67 years ago. The award-winning SUV boasts an aluminum monocoque body, fully independent suspension. Yeah, that last sentence got me too. Can a design with comfort in mind compete with traditional live axles or lockers?
Yeah, so this is as you say, is a monocoque now. It's far stronger than anything we've ever had before. It has the fully independent suspension, which now works a lot better than the old beam axles that all the traditional off-roaders have. And coupled with all the modern technology, this vehicle now is as capable as any vehicle out there off-road. But the fantastic thing is, it shares so much heritage with the Range Rover, it's a fantastic vehicle to drive on the road.
Currently, there are 2 powertrain options with a third coming, each using the 8-speed transmission and full-time 4-wheel drive.
Currently, we have a 4-cylinder turbo, which gives you right around the 300 horsepower. There's the 6-cylinder Ingenium engine, which is a mild hybrid, which gives a smoother stop-start transition, and it has an electric supercharger on it, which gives instant. 400 horsepower. And then on the horizon, within the next month or so, we're going to get the V8, and the V8's going to have 518 horsepower. So there'll be no shortage of finding a car for everyone.
I have owned several off-road trucks, SUVs, and a Jeep Wrangler. The Defender 90 doesn't drive like any of them. I was in all the power and torque combination with the i6, but what really shocked me, the impressive air ride suspension.
There's no penalty for the off-road side of things in this car. Historically, you'd have to have some kind of penalty. You'd have to ride harsh, be jacked up, be a little unstable perhaps, a high-speed cornering. This one can automatically settle down to its predicted safe driving height at speed.
Now, since these units were already spoken for, we didn't have a chance to test the acclaimed off-road chops. For the short time I spent in the Defender, all I can say is the 2021 lineup is spacious, smooth, and no matter the engine choice, power-packed. No wonder it's the 2021 SUV of the year. Now, if you have one of these Defenders and would like me to take it off-road, you know where to find me. I'll be at the auto show, standing over here by the Defender. Look at this. If you're a fan of the classic, whether it's, from the late 40s, the 60s, 70s, all the way through the 90s, the interior has changed so little. It's still got big open wells. It's got the hold-on bars here for when you're not the driver. And it's just roomy and yet still classy and fully functional. And you know what? Because you're a friend of mine here, I can take this from hold to sold. You just go ahead and give Richie a call. Well, you know what's something else that's really cool here with Fields and Land Rover? 7 of these are going to be given away in 3 local places here. So we've got the Atlantic Beach Police Department, Gabriel House, and the Habitat for Humanity, Beaches Habitat, are in the running here thanks to Fields and folks that nominated them for what could be a free, awesome SUV, off-road vehicle, family, grocery getter, and all-around fun truck.
Oh, man. Someone give Richie a call. Yeah, he's at the auto show, that's for sure. So while we do know the cars are the stars of the Jacksonville International Auto Show, there is actually plenty for the entire family, even those that don't have their license yet. Let's take a look at what the Jax Auto Show is, some other options you can take part in. For the first time ever at the Jax International Auto Show, some of the world's rarest and most exotic cars will be on display for you to check out. From Italy to England, you can see performance machines like the Lamborghini and Lotus. Also on display, the legendary Maserati. From the dynamic Ghibli to the luxurious Quattroporte, this famed Italian marquee brings a new level of automotive passion to the Jacksonville International Auto Show. Another first for the Jacksonville show, the famed Bentley brand. These magnificent motor cars celebrate a rich motoring heritage with truly modern mechanical thoroughbreds. See something great on the show floor and want to test drive it? Why wait? You can test drive the latest models from Chevrolet. Test as many as you'd like. The Classic Car Museum of St. Augustine comes to the Jacksonville International Auto Show for the first time. This local gem was created to bring memories back to life as only classic cars can do. Founded on the principles of sharing, charitable giving, community involvement, education, and a whole lot of fun, they strive to put smiles on everyone who walks through their doors. Military Trail salutes restored historic military vehicles, courtesy of the First Florida Chapter, Military Vehicle Preservation Association, including a 1945 GPW and Willys Jeep, as well as a half-track, and many more. Now, if you're feeling the need for speed, Autobahn has you covered. From their explosive go-karts on display to racing arcade games and even axe throwing, Autobahn brings thrilling family entertainment at the Jacksonville Auto Show. Get your race on with the RC cars and go for the checkered flag. BMX Tricksters traveling BMX Stunt Show come to the First Coast Premier's Auto Show for the first time. Watch the BMX Tricksters bring their thrilling display of BMX bike stunts and freestyle tricks with 3 shows a day on Saturday and Sunday. There is still a lot more to come here at the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview, only on Channel 4. Stay with us.
The Bronco is back. We give you a sneak peek at one of the most famous SUVs on the road. What's new? And when you can test this bad boy yourself. When the Jacksonville Auto Show preview returns.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview. Close to 300 cars for the biggest auto show in the Southeast, running Thursday, Friday through Sunday. Bring your mom out for Mother's Day. What a better way to spend it with her and the entire family. Welcome back. It has been a quarter century since the Bronco first made its debut off the production line, and now 25 years later, it is back and built for modern times. That's where we find Rich right now. Rich, are you drooling? Have they moved you away from the car yet?
Yeah, what I'm trying to do is negotiate more time. We're halfway through with the show, and we have so many cars that we have yet to talk about. This is Alden Davis. He's our Ford specialist, and we need him because we're talking about a couple of things that are brand new. And like you mentioned, 25-year hiatus. It's over, and now we have the Bronco back. A little change here and there from the original drawings, but certainly paying homage to a vehicle that continued a legacy all the way up to the slow-speed car chase.
Absolutely. This one right here is going to be the Bronco Sport. This is the one that you're starting to see out on the roads. It's available right now. Dealerships are getting them, and a lot of the ones that have come in have been pre-ordered from months ago. So
that's what I've been reading, is that, even though there were some limitations, and Lauren actually talked about it earlier in the news, is part of the reasons there's a lot of computers and stuff like that, and the superconductors and the chips are kind of hard to come by. We were over there with the Defender just a little while ago, and as I look at the lines on this, I can see where there's a lot of European that's been added to the overall contours.
Sure. So first of all, they gave you that squared off Safari kind of look to go after that kind of customer. This vehicle, it's basically, it does the off-road performance was still with on-road capacity. So
and this has a multitude of, if you do take it off-road, it's got driver's modes that engage this all-wheel drive system.
Absolutely, yeah. Ford likes to call that their GOAT modes. Goes over any type of terrain. So
the GOAT modes?
Yeah, GOAT modes. And that's actually, it says it right here on the this is a demo, but on the new ones it says GOAT right here. Basically, slippery mode, sand, eco, normal, and sand mode as well too.
And going to these vehicles, it's what I'm liking more and more is that they're so open. They're not cluttered with a lot of componentry. The dashboard looks like it's been pushed back a little bit just to make it more comfortable for, especially if you're using it as a four-door. Now, this one would be more of the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday type of thing, but we've got one over here that is ready for the weekend. It's ready for the beach. It's ready for sand dunes. It's ready for this BMX ramp over here. I think we could jump this thing, Alden.
Yeah, absolutely. This one right here is going to be one of the ones that's more loaded out. This is going to be the Bronco, but with the Sasquatch package. So that's going to give you the more aggressive fenders. It's going to give you the 37-inch standard.
Sasquatch was real.
35-inch wheels with the 17-inch bead locks. It's going to give you that actual elevated suspension as well, too. So it's ready to take on that adventure for sure.
So a first question I have to ask is, can I get doors with it?
Yes. So
all right, good, because if I bring this home and I don't have doors, my wife's going to be like, hey.
Yeah, what's unique about the four-door is that the doors come off easily, and then you're able to store them in the back of the in the cargo space. So
yeah, I'm blown away because you look at this compared to the Bronco Sport over there, and I know that this is based on the same body, but a couple of performance pieces, a little bit of work here on the kick plates and undercarriage, and like you said, I mean, this thing's set up with bead locks, and if you don't know what these are, this thing here with the bolts on it, this actually bolts to hold in the bead of the tire here, so you can lower the pressure with these, and you don't have to worry about it debeading if you're going out and say like sugar sand and maybe even some mud if you're off-roading. So this thing is really set up as what would be a performance type of, you know, almost like a Safari or maybe even a Baja 1000 type of vehicle. And the fact that it also comes with a full-size spare with the same bead lock means that if you do have a, you know, something that would happen, a stick or rock or something where you would slice one of these big beefy tires, at least you'll be able to get out and not have to do it on the donut. Now let's talk performance here. What's underneath the hood?
So this one likely is going to be your 2.7-liter V6 EcoBoost. It also comes in, well, that's going to be a 10-speed transmission, but it also comes in a 2.3-liter EcoBoost, and one engine you most commonly would see in the Ranger, and that's actually coming in a 7-speed manual.
Now, they're going to be offering the F-150 with a hybrid. Is there any talk of a hybrid with the Bronco as of yet?
Not as of yet, but there is supposedly going to be a Raptor-esque type Bronco called the Warthog, possibly. Come down the line
maybe
as well,
we're getting
too.
a little sneak peek. And something else that's pretty cool, and they've added it to a lot of the off-road vehicles, this has a forward-facing camera here, so you can see if you're doing, you know, things like rock crawling, or you're trying to go around tree stumps and stuff like that. And to help with the view as you're on the inside, you may have noticed that the hood is blacked out. It's an anti-glare hood, so that as you're trying to have your line of sight to make sure you're not running over something that could damage these big, beautiful tires and rims, the camera helps you out, the anti-glare. And with the motor and the performance inside of this Bronco, it's going to get you from school to back to work and then out in the woods for some good times.
It's the top-selling vehicle in the country for over 30 years. Now, the Ford F-150 gets a facelift. See the changes in the country's most popular pickup truck when the Jacksonville Auto Show preview returns.
Welcome back to the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview, only right here on Channel 4. Close to 300 cars are packed inside the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center for the auto show this weekend. Bring your mom out for Mother's Day. Bring the whole family while you're at it. All right, we got plenty more cars to talk about, including, if the trend continues, 2022 will mark the 40th year straight that the Ford F-150 was named America's top-selling vehicle. Think about that for a second. That is amazing. But with time comes change, and that's no different for this year's version of the pickup. Richard has a look at the facelift.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is all new for 2021, and I think the big blue oval here could pretty much stop selling everything that you guys have and still make a lot of money, because in a minute, in just 1 minute's time, 4 of these will have sold worldwide. Every 15 seconds? Is that still I mean, even though we can't get them, they're just putting them in order books, people are still buying them.
Absolutely, yes.
Completely redesigned.
Ford says it's about 92% different. It's a 92% difference from all the trucks in years past. So it's a brand new truck, pretty much unique, with each different grills for each different trim level.
I think that the front end here, and we were talking about this, I really love the old square front F-150s. I mean, back when they were still called Rangers at the time. And then the F-150 kind of came around, and as I got into driving, this is what became that style, kind of the rounded front end, and we're seeing this come back with this all-new body. Now, when they went from the 90s edition to, what was it, 2015, when they reinvented everything, there was the aluminum and all that other stuff. How much of that is carried over to the 2022?
All the same, pretty much. Yeah, this is still going to be an all-aluminum body right here as well, too. The same engines you've had since 2015 on up. It's just a with the technology and just a couple of exterior features is what's making it a whole brand new truck.
And in this one, so this has got the 3.5, the EcoBoost, but there's a hybrid version for this engine also? How does that work?
Yes, so it's still got the 3.5 EcoBoost engine with the electric motor. So you'll have basically an onboard generator, depending on the wattage, I guess you would call it, that you picked out. You're able to plug in tailgate, plug in a smoker, televisions, dryers, whatever you need. All
so it's going to generate something that then will supply power back to you that you can use, power tools, things like that.
Yeah, you no longer need to bring your generator.
We're going to show you that on the King Ranch, but I want to show you. So this would be the F-150. This is the STX. So is this the entry level?
Yeah, so the STX is a little bit more nicer XL work truck. So instead of having the vinyl seats and the rubber floors, you still get a little bit more of the higher trim level feel, even though it is manual seats and a couple of manual options.
You know, I mean, just to push the seat back and forth with your own power here really doesn't seem like it's all that much. I mean, how often are you adjusting the seats? And I think the inside, if this is the work truck edition, they must have some clean jobs. I mean, I do remember the old vinyl seats, and one of my very first experiences was one that had the rubber floors, and at the end of every day, I kid you not, we'd take a hose and just rinse it out. But come here, this is what, when you start to move up a notch or two or three, this is the King Ranch edition. Obviously, there's a lot on the outside where you get some of the extras, but he was just talking about this power plant, and in the back here, there is a plug on the side that you can, do you know how to open one of these? Oh, we're going to set the alarm off. Look out!
Oh, luckily.
But there's a plug here, so as that battery, that generator's charging, you can put the gate down, plug into that, so whether it's your boom box, your smoker grill, your refrigerator, your beer cooler, whatever you need, you can keep going. But that's not just what you get with the King Ranch. You get so much more.
Yeah, and also what's new for this 2021 is this, I wish it would go down, but it's a workstation pretty much on the tailgate. So in the past, on this trim level, you're able to lower the tailgate by the remote. And now with 2021, you're actually able to raise it back up by the remote as well, too.
It is a workstation. Look, there's a yardstick. Or actually,
there's a ruler on here to measure the wood. If you're measuring wood, yeah. These serve as clamps right here, so you can actually hold the wood in place and plug in your chainsaw and slice the wood up.
And what I really like here is that they make this bed so usable, so it already has the cleats, not just for tie downs, but you could put a plank of wood over top and effectively turn this into a double-decker type of setup. And then you also have the inserts, and they kept that here, which I absolutely love. These things on the inside of the wheel well are cut for a 2x6. You see where that little indention is, so you can put a piece of wood across here. If you're a bicyclist, a mountain biker, whatever, it gives you a great space to lock your forks into with one of those fork tools. But then you get inside of the business part here and look at what you get from going with the STX, which is a beautiful inside. You get here, and Alden, this is leather-wrapped luxury.
Yeah, so they still want to make it your work truck life, but still make it a little bit luxurious. So on the inside, you have the signature King Ranch logos and decals that's been years and years and years on. This one has the upgraded sound system called B&O Audio Unleashed. So you actually have, I think, up to either 14 or 18 speakers versus just the 10 speakers. What's nice about this King Ranch is they have little details that they really paid attention to. They actually have the actual King Ranch embroidered in the actual dash up here as well, too. And then they threw a little American flag right here on the corner when you open the door, right on the air vent. It's pretty awesome.
That is awesome, and a great reminder that, yeah, this is definitely America right there with the King Ranch. And what's really cool about this is that, I mean, the paint job is awesome. It's sort of like a metal flake that's inside of that white, but it is just a classic. And bringing back that front end on this thing, Lauren. There's another one. Again, I lost count. 1, 2, 3. I want that. Oh, wait, hold on. Here I go.
Someone wrangle him in. Someone do it, because it can't be me. All right, there is still plenty more to come here at the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview. We are live at the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center, and we'll be right back.
Secrets of the Shine. A local car detailing expert reveals how to return your ride to its showroom glory when the Jacksonville Auto Show preview returns.
Welcome back. You are watching Channel 4's Jacksonville International Auto Show preview. Close to 300 cars are packed in the Prime F. Osborne Convention Center. ahead of the biggest auto show in the Southeast. Welcome back, everybody. You know, whether you've been driving a new car or one for quite a while, who doesn't love a clean, sparkling car? But we all know that keeping that car clean without breaking the bank or your back can be a little difficult. That's why we found the guy with the details on getting your car detailed.
Greg Clark. Greg, the detail doctor. So I don't recommend using dish soap or anything like that. It needs to be pH balanced because you don't want to strip the polish from it. Polish is what puts oils in your paint, gives it that wet, glossy look. Chemical guys, that will probably be the best choice as far as soaps that you can buy in the store. Best way to get it dry, a synthetic chamois. You can get it at Walmart for about $10, and that will dry it down. But before you dry it down, if you take some spray wax, any kind of spray wax, your choice, there's plenty of them in the stores. After you've washed it, rinsed it, spray it down, let it sit on there for a minute, and just come back with your chamois, and it'll change the water behavior. First thing you want to look for is make sure it's not aluminum coated. If it's aluminum coated and you're not familiar with what type of cleaner you're using, soap and water is the safest route, because if you put something that's too strong on an aluminum coated tire, it's going to eat it up and it's going to look really, really bad. But if it's chrome, you can use an acid-based cleaner. If it's any other type of rim besides an aluminum coated rim, it's safe with any wheel cleaner you get in the store. I recommend that you scrub them first. Get some bleach white. You can spray that on there, get a brush, scrub the tire itself. You'll see the brown stuff start to come off. Hit that with a pressure washer, and then apply your tire shine. Okay, I would use invisible glass and wipe it down with the microfiber rag. If you still see water spots, use invisible glass again, some steel wool, 4/0 steel wool, and then take your microfiber and clean it, and the water spots will be gone. So after washing it, taking a sponge wrapped with cotton, a cotton sponge, just put some back to black bumper treatment and just apply that, let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then just wipe it off. And it'll bring back a nice shine to it. Waxing is important because, like we talked about earlier with the compounding, if the car is left outside, being in Florida, all the heat, it dries out the paint. So the best way to go about that is waxing it every 3 months, and you won't have to worry about oxidation at all. What I would recommend out of the store, again, the Meguiar's is a good product. The paste wax, not the spray wax. The paste wax is going to give you more longevity of your life for the detail. The best thing that I could recommend to get stains out of your carpet, out of your interior, would probably be Awesome. It works good. You spray it on there, use a damp microfiber, agitate the carpet, and you'll see the stains come right up. So use a good degreaser, wipe it down with a microfiber, and then putting a protectant on there like your Armor All Ultra Shine. That's a good product there.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Those are some great tips. Those are great tips, because we know keeping cars clean, that's a little hard. Rich, how often do you wash your car?
I try to at least knock off the dust on it about once a week, and then once a month is when I'll actually go back, and if it feels gritty, maybe strip down the wax and put a new one on. And then on my truck, about once every 6 months, I try to put a really good wax on it, just because, we use it like a truck and sometimes it stays outside. This, however, it was, 2 years ago, Jason? Yeah, that we had a chance, and we spent the day with Lincoln, and we got to drive the Nautilus, the Corsair, and the Navigator, of course. And when you're talking about American luxury, when it comes to Lincoln, I mean, this is the pinnacle of what is a plush SUV. Some of the other ones that we showed you are great for, taking you to the beach and off-road. This one, we'll call it more, instead of an off-roader, we'll call it a soft-roader. Not that they're not capable of getting off, but when you look at the lines, when you look at just how beautiful these things are, look at that inside. What we found with these is they are just the Lincoln comfort. If you think about the town car and its history of, being that Cadillac type comfort, to use another car term, this is what these things really embody here. It's stylish, They took a lot of the cues from the Europeans, and kind of like what we saw there with the Bronco, being that we're in the same family here. The rounded out fronts, the more aerodynamic. I mean, it almost looks like it was designed in a slipstream, and then you have these really gorgeous sloping roof lines that come back to this tapered back end, and it just makes the thing look like it's moving as it is. And when you look at the contours, and not only the contours here, but you look at the body line and you see that similarity in the designs with not only the Corsair here, but as you look at the Nautilus and even the Navigator. So here's the Aviator right here, the other one. I mean, tell me that if you took all the badges off of that and you just walked by it and the wheels weren't marked, you would say, wow, look at this. And you would probably think, this may be like one of the more exotic of the SUVs. But what you get, not that they're entry level by any means, but if this is what you're looking for, something as a stylish, I mean, just look at that inside. This is what you get for the money with Lincoln. This is what you get with all of the products, whether it's the Aviator, the Corsair, or the Navigator. You get these really beautiful plush insides with seats that will contour and form to every nook and cranny. What I remember when we drove it is the piece that slides out underneath the back of your thighs. Once you get that chair set and your feet are on the pedals, it's almost like you're sitting there weightless. And then you turn on the air-conditioned seats, and I don't know if you ever had a chance to sit on one of those on a hot summer day. Whoo, that's like country time lemonade for the whole body. That's what that's like. But again, going back to the styles here, it's that same idea with the sloped roof lines. And I think that, I know that the show's getting ready to end here soon, Lauren, but this is what I'm going to do. I brought my sleeping bag, and if nobody notices, I just may stay here and sleep in some of these cars. Maybe I'll start with the Navigator.
Ooh, sounds luxurious. I also am not shocked at all if you have a sleeping bag ready for this. I think you had this planned. All right, if you plan to head to the auto show this weekend, first of all, try to find Rich in one of these cars. But also, we want to see your photos. Take your amazing photos and then upload them to Snapjacks. Just log on to Snapjacks on news4jax.com, select the auto show category from the menu and upload a pic. Feel free to add a caption and share the fun. Don't go anywhere because the auto show preview is just getting started. Hey, welcome back. It is the Jacksonville International Auto Show. Close to 300 cars have packed the Prime Osborne Convention Center, and I'm pretty sure Richard Nunn is trying to see every single one of these cars. And Rich, I think you've done a pretty good job of it so far.
I still have to do Toyota. I just went by. There's Lotus. We got Lamborghini. We got Maserati. I'm going to be here all night.
Did you bring your sleeping bag?
I brought my sleeping bag and your checkbook.
Oh, so I hate to say it, but that's going to bounce if you try one of those. All right. Well, here's the most important thing. We've talked to you about what's here. Well, how do you get in? That's the next most important thing. Don't worry. We've got those details for you. Inside the Prime Osborne Convention Center, you'll see close to 300 different cars on display. The show opens to the public tomorrow at noon and runs through Sunday. It's open Friday and Saturday until 9 at night, and the show closes Sunday evening at 6. You're encouraged to buy tickets online to comply with the touchless ticket safety guidelines. Just go to jacksautoshow.com. Tickets are $13 for adults, $6 for children ages 6 to 12. Children under 6 are free, and seniors get in for $9. Active and retired military members can buy tickets for $5 at the box office. But Friday is Active Military and Active First Responders Day, so they get in for free with an ID. Discount coupons for $2 off adult admission are available at participating gate gas stations. Parking is free in the lot located just behind the convention center. It has been a packed 1-hour show, and I just want to tell you, if you've missed any of it at all, because where did you start?
I started with the Porsche.
Started with the Porsche. We ended with a Ford F-150 and Lincoln.
And then Lincoln, yeah.
It's been a packed show, so if you missed any of it, don't worry. On news4jax.com, we're going to actually have the whole show, or you can check it out on our YouTube channel. All right, Rich, you're actually going to be back tomorrow morning. I am, yeah. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and if you're a Subaru fan, they have made
history with all their subsets. You know, so you had the Outback that came off of the Legacy. Well, the Legacy still lives. The Outback still lives, but the Outback's going to get its own subset. And this thing is ridiculous. It is really geared for the outdoorsy type of people. This is the most Outbacky Outback ever.
I found my new mom-mobile. It is the Bentley SUV.
The Bottega?
Yes, yes.
You will look great in
My
that.
poor fiance does not know. I'm going to steal his checkbook, and I also know that check's going to bounce for the Bentley. But we'll save up. We'll save up, right?
With the Bentley, that's probably good advice.
Good taste?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, there's so many great looking cars here. If you're shopping for a new car, if you're just a car person, you come here and, you know, 300 right there at your fingertips. It's like going to the best car lot in the world because there's everything that you could want to see. There's also the classics that are here with the St. Augustine Classic Car Museum. Just let your nose guide you to that. You can smell the classic. You smell the oil and the gas, and it's awesome. And Autobahn, I saw the Autobahn electric go-kart folks. They're here, and maybe you get a chance to throw an axe, see a car, and maybe you take home something.
There is something literally for everyone. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for the Jacksonville International Auto Show preview, only right here on Channel 4.